game to score touchdowns down there in the red area. We weren't able to do that. And I think really that became really the difference in the game.
Yeah, what happened on the cause of 2 timeouts early in the third quarter? Was it 12 men, and then what was it?
Yeah, we had a substitution error defensively. That can't happen. And then we had a play call that, we ran out of a personnel grouping due to some injuries that, we had to try to make some adjustment there. So those are 2 things that can't happen.
What was the goal in the 4th and 4 play call towards the end?
Well, the goal was to try to hit Juwan on an option route inside.
And that the 4th down before that, the 4th and 1, did you guys consider maybe trying to go for it? Or?
Yeah, we thought we talked about it. I mean, look, with where we were in the game. I mean, I felt like pinning them back there was the right decision. Hindsight's 20/20. But I thought pinning them back there was the right decision.
Yeah, it's on the last play. Is the progression to go from Juwan to the deep ball, or Juwan someplace else to get first down there?
Yeah, I mean, I think you're looking inside Juwan, but if you got a matchup outside, I think the initial thought was let's get the ball to Juwan on an option route.
Yes, how do you come back from a game like this? You had your quarterback back, and obviously you were facing the head team.
Yeah, well, yeah, I mean, it was hard. I mean, I just watching Derek, he looked a little rusty out there today.
Thank you for
obviously,
listening to my daddy's podcast. Please subscribe to our channel.
Hey, don't let these tears fool you. There's all dog around this mug. I'm good.
Hey, what's going on, Who Dat Nation? It is yours truly, Timothy J. Jones. And yes, I am the host of the State of the Saints podcast, powered by BETUS. Sign up today, get up to 150% on your first deposit and 125% on your second and third deposit, up to $2,000. Go use the BETUS app or go to their website, use the promo code YouTube150. Well, Who Dat Nation? It is what it is. I'm going to say that again. It is what it is. The New Orleans Saints, they fall to the Carolina Panthers by a score of 23-22. And I just finished doing a post game on Bleacher Report. And some people was like, man, TJ, man, I thought you would be a little bit more animated. I thought you'd be a little bit more angry. Why the hell should I be angry about a situation like this? Like, seriously. I feel like if you're angry about your team losing and not really living up to expectations, that's like around week 3, week 4. When you're in week 9 and you're dealing with situations like this, like you basically just look up to the heavens and be like, yeah, it is what it is. Doesn't surprise me at all that the Saints lost this football game. Even though during the prediction show, I said the Saints were going to win, I also said that I wasn't very confident in that. It wouldn't surprise me if the Carolina Panthers win this football game, in which they did. Because you have, on one hand, you got a team in the Carolina Panthers that came into the game 1-7, but at the same time, they were playing really, really hard for their coach. They were playing really hard for him. They were trying to win football games. On the other hand, the New Orleans Saints, like, it just seems like, these guys were just out there because it's their job. And they know, just like we all do, that Dennis Allen is a loser. And Dennis Allen is not going to win you anything. And the only people that seem to think that Dennis Allen can win them something is Mickey Loomis. Mickey Loomis is a freaking moron if he does not fire Dennis Allen on tomorrow. I'm going to say that again. Mickey Loomis is a freaking moron if he does not fire Dennis Allen on tomorrow. I don't care how this makes me feel. Like, look, I'm at a point, I already told y'all, if I have to lie to kick it, to try to get any type of access or any type of thing going on, and for me personally as a journalist, if that means I got to lie and sugarcoat stuff in order for me to kick it, I don't want it. Because here's the reality. Anybody that can't call a spade and understand that Mickey Loomis is ruining the New Orleans Saints because of his pettiness, his arrogance, him actually honestly believing that he was just super instrumental in the resurgence or the renaissance of the New Orleans Saints, like it was just him alone. Like you got to be sadly mistaken. Mickey Loomis does not know that much about football. Mickey Loomis was just lucky enough to have a smart, very, very meticulous head coach in Sean Payton, and had a really legendary quarterback in Drew Brees. And those two elements were the reason why New Orleans Saints football has been watchable for nearly 20 years. And for some apparent reason, he believes that he was the one that put all of it together. Mickey Loomis, for years, has put nonsense in this organization. The only difference is that you had a quarterback and coach that was able to cover it up. But now you don't have that anymore. You don't have anybody that can be able to cover it up. You don't have any coaches. You don't have any quarterbacks that can be able to help you in that regard. So as far as I'm concerned, why sit up here and get upset? Why sit up here and get angry about something that you already know was going to happen? Like, you know that this team is going to fall short as long as Dennis Allen is the coach. And until Mickey Loomis gets out of his own way, steps down, or hires somebody else that maybe can look at it with some young eyes, then we're going to find ourselves in the same situation. And I'm not going to sit up here and just go off on something that I already know is going to happen. So this is what is going to happen. This is what's going to take place. Right now, as I speak live, it's 5:09 Eastern Standard Time out here in North Carolina, where I'm at right now. I'm gonna read a few comments. I'm gonna read these stats, and then I'm gonna get off this podcast, and I'm gonna spend the rest of my evening with my wife and son. So that's how this is gonna go. This is not gonna be a long podcast at all. We'll get back into it probably Monday night when I get back home, or Tuesday or something like that. But I'm not about to waste my time or my evening talking about these losers and Mickey Loomis and Dennis Allen, who honestly are making our football team look like an absolute joke. So that's how we're going to do this. If y'all want to talk about the beginning of the game, we can go ahead and talk about it. We can talk about it. Started off promising, just like all other Saints games. It always, it's amazing to me. It's amazing to me, who that nation, how the New Orleans Saints can just reel you in every single week. The first play from scrimmage always seems to be explosive, right? And it's like, man, we about to see something today. I can remember that 23-yard catch by Juwan Johnson to start a game. I can remember Alvin Kamara going for plus 15 a couple games ago. And today, Alvin Kamara rushes for 20 yards off the rip. So we like, okay, all right, we might see something today. We might see some offense today, right? They get down to the red zone. Tell me if you heard this before. Can't cash it in. They got to kick a field goal, 3-0. Then all of a sudden they get another stop, get the ball back, get down to the red zone again. This time, kick another field goal, right? Another field goal, 6-0. So now you give the Carolina Panthers confidence, like, yeah, we bending, but we ain't breaking. So all we got to do now is score a touchdown. So they allow Bryce Young, who has struggled. Guy got benched, back into the lineup. They allowed him to march down the field, throw a touchdown to Xavier Legette for a 7-6 lead. But this is where, I think everybody kind of want to talk about and want to discuss. Derek Carr throwing a pass to Chris Olave, you knowing that your star wide receiver has had concussion issues, knowing that he got knocked out of a game. And what does he do? He throws the football into double coverage. Chris Olave gets sandwiched and knocked out cold. And I'm telling y'all, see, when you're watching this stuff on TV, they can kind of shy away and pan away from the camera and all that kind of stuff. That's what they do. But to watch that live, I'm gonna illustrate this for y'all. All right, because some of you that y'all sit up here and you smack your lips and start talking about, it wasn't his fault. It wasn't his fault. I want y'all to really understand this. Chris Olave, when he went up for that pass, both of his hands went into the air. It exposed the top part of his body, midsection, legs, extremities, and everything. And those two guys just basically sandwiched him, and he just fell flat. Like, for a second, like, I'm not over exaggerating. For a second, I thought dude was dead. I'm serious. He didn't move. He was out, like literally out. And then what they do is they try to cover it up, so I guess the camera won't be able to see it. But you can literally see Chris Olave legs like jiggling, like he was like going into convulsions out there. Now imagine how that, like, people out here really trying to defend this. The cornerback and the safety, he shouldn't have hit him that hard. Derek Carr shouldn't have threw that football. And anybody that's sitting up here talking about he should, if they're trying to justify Derek Carr throwing that football, you are a freaking moron. You're a freaking moron. I don't want to talk football with you. That's why, like, when some of them people down in the comments, I know y'all try to clout chase. I know y'all wish that somebody else would want to hear something that y'all got to say, and people are nice enough and kind enough to be able to go back and forth, and you want that type of energy. So maybe you try to say something that you think that will get my attention. But the reality is you're a freaking moron. Anybody that knows football knows that you don't throw a football like that into double coverage. You know that you had a safety coming underneath. So for that, you're going to do two things. Number one, you're not going to throw the football in that area in the first place. Or number two, you're going to throw the ball down low to a point where the wide receiver can actually protect himself and he can actually, survive the ground. But no, not Derek Carr. Derek Carr throws the ball, exposes the man, and basically gets him ham sandwiched right between two defenders. Derek Carr can go too, as far as I'm concerned. If you want that mediocre quarterback play, if you feel like Derek Carr gonna win you something, man, you're a freaking moron too. This man ain't winning you nothing. The Saints stink. They smell, they reek of loser because of this dude. They reek of loser because of Dennis Allen. I am not about to sit up here and argue and go back and forth with somebody on social media who ain't never played no football in their life, don't even take the time out to try to study the game at all to know that you're not supposed to throw those type of passes. Most of y'all some of the greatest couch cushion analysts I've ever seen in my entire life. It's rather the play was good or the play was bad. They never asked the question, why didn't he catch it? Why shouldn't you throw the football that way? Why should you not allow that to happen to your wide receiver? Some of y'all just sit up here and just take anything that somebody give you. And for that, I pity you. But that was just terrible. And then, you almost had Juwan Johnson go out the game because he almost threw the same type pass that he threw to Chris Olave. He threw it to Juwan Johnson too. But Juwan Johnson, fortunately, he passed, the concussion evaluation and was able to go back into the game. Derek Carr is a dangerous quarterback. He's dangerous. He's reckless. He doesn't make the right decisions when pressure is around him. And people want to exalt that because every now and then he'll he'll dump it down or something like that, and it turns into a positive play. Derek Carr is going to get somebody seriously hurt, and he is not the answer for the New Orleans Saints long term. Y'all can say whatever you want to say. Y'all can say it ain't Derek Carr's fault. I hear that stuff all the time. Derek Carr is a loser. You're not going to be any better or any worse with Derek Carr as your quarterback. You're going to be right there in the middle because that's what he is as a quarterback. Right there in the middle, smack dab in the middle. Average, C+ player is what he is. He's a C+ player. And like I said, if you don't take the time out to study football, analyze football, understand plays and routes and all that kind of stuff, and quarterback's job to protect the wide receiver, then I don't want to talk to you. And you're clout chasing. Sean, thank you very much for the $5. Say at this point, I want to put my 12-year-old son in a head coach. He can coach better than DA. I had the DA press conference on, but I couldn't take it anymore. Y'all heard like towards the end, you were about to start blaming Derek Carr. Now Derek Carr rusty. Now, you have some players that drop passes. Dude is a loser. He's still sitting up there blaming other players and stuff. Like, oh, Derek Carr, yeah, I feel like Derek was a little rusty today. Like, dude, you rusty every week. That's why I say, man, like he just continues to throw players under the bus. Like anything to try to save his little job. But nobody cares, bro. Everybody knows that you're a loser. I don't care who you try to throw under the bus. He threw Derek Carr under the bus today. I'm shocked by that. Oh, I think Derek looked rusty today. I think offense, I don't think they moved the ball. There were some drop passes. Nah, bro. You're a loser. Loser. Get that bum up out of here so we can start winning some football games again. I'm not even mad one bit tanking season 2024. I'm not mad at all either. I was at the game, and shouts out to his brother I was sitting next to, and he was like, man, they ain't looking good. I said, this has to happen. And some of the Saints fans around me, they start looking. Carolina Panthers fans start looking. I'm like, this got to happen. Like, this has got to happen. It's sad that it has to come to this point, who that nation, but it had to happen. The New Orleans Saints hear me out. They had to lose this football game because Mickey Loomis is going to continue to hide out on Airline Drive in his office and have these little press conferences and shy away from social media and all this stuff right here. And he's going to chunk it up to injuries. He's going to chunk it up to guys not being available. He's going to chunk it up to maybe it was raining that day. He's going to chunk it up to maybe they have the right spikes on the cleats. All these different excuses to try to save Dennis Allen's job. But what happens when you go up against the worst football team in all of football and you lose that game? Guess what? You don't have a leg to stand on. You can't protect him anymore. Everybody now knows that the Emperor has no clothes. I've been saying that for weeks. The Emperor has no clothes. You can't cover this up anymore because regardless of what you bring out there, you could not beat the worst team in football. You could not beat a quarterback that people are saying as of this point in time is a bust. He has been benched by his football team. Andy Dalton would have been playing in this game today if he didn't get into an accident. They put him back into the lineup, Bryce Young, and you allowed this guy to go out there and play formidable enough to beat you. Dennis Allen has got to go. It's just that plain and simple. And I know I went to the game today. My wife gave me those tickets, to go to the game. It's in Charlotte. I'm gonna be 100% real. If that game was in the Superdome, I wouldn't have been there. I wouldn't have been there. I'm lobbying every single day until this happens. Saints fans, if you love your football team. Saints fans, if you love your football team. Saints fans, if you love your football team, do not go to the Superdome. Do not cheer for these losers. I ain't talking about the players. I'm talking about the higher ups and the coach. If they continue to try to make this dude work, Do not subject yourself to this nonsense. Because once again, they don't care about you. They don't care about you. They care about being right. This is what this is about. This is about being right. It's not about, oh, I want to put a smile on my fans' face. I want us to be a contender. Mickey Loomis doesn't want people to see him sweat. He wants everybody to feel like, oh, he has everything under control. The dude only cares about being right because he's an egotistical, arrogant son of a gun that don't want to cut his losses. But today, you have no choice but to cut your losses. It's like you telling your friend, hey, bro, or you telling your girlfriend, say, girl, I seen your man, I seen your woman outside a hotel, the Holiday Inn. And I've been seeing them going up in that thing every single night. Man, no, bro, nah, you ain't see him. No, you ain't see him. You ain't see him. I'm telling you, I saw him. The blue Mustang, I seen it out there. Nah, you ain't seen. No, you just don't want me to be happy. You don't want me to be happy. You just mad that I don't come over there and play spades on Friday night no more. I'm telling you, I seen him. Then sure enough, you say, all right, I'm about to prove you wrong. Just for the sake of this, I'm about to drive over there to this Holiday Inn. And you drive over there to that Holiday Inn. And just like your friend said, you see that blue Mustang outside. Make that phone call. Where you at? Oh, I'm at the mall, babe. I'm at the mall. I'm trying to buy you something. Okay. Go up in that hotel. See him walking out. Reality hits. And you realize that you've been had the entire time and your friend's been telling you the truth. This is what happens with our nation. We've been telling this guy. We've been telling Mickey Loomis that Dennis Allen ain't it. We've been telling him this. Bro, did you see how he was coaching this game? Hey, man, not going for it on 4th and 1. Man, do you see how these players responded to him? Now, you got to look past the results. You got to you got to look beyond that, right? That's what he said, right? But now, you have no choice. You have no choice but to take a look. And you have no choice but to see what everybody else has saw. Everybody else has seen for I don't know how long. You've seen it with your own eyes. And now you have to adjust accordingly. Or you're going to lose the entire fan base because now everybody knows that without a shadow of a doubt if you don't pull the trigger what this is about. Josh, thank you very much for $10. Says you were right. I was wrong. Derek Carr ain't never going to live up to the potential. I don't blame DA though, because I don't think he's even wanted the job. Mickey is making him keep a job he don't want. Man, he probably wanted the job, and to me, you know, now I don't think he wants this job. I don't think he wants this job anymore. I don't. You can tell up there, man. It's like, man, please fire me. But he needs to go, man. He needs to go. This should be Dennis Allen's last game as the head coach of the New Orleans Saints. I'm gonna go a little deeper. If the New Orleans Saints fire Dennis Allen on today or tomorrow, I got a strong feeling that them dudes gonna play they behinds off against Atlanta. I don't know if they're gonna win, but they're gonna play their behinds off and they're gonna try their best to try to win that football game. I guarantee you the energy and everything else on that team gonna look different. I guarantee you the energy and the swag and the confidence, all that stuff gonna look different on this team. Everyone yelled at Rattler for performing poorly, but Carr gets a pass. Nah. I look at his stat line. Let me take a look at it. I seen it. 18 to 31, 236 yards. Hold on. Let me go back. Hold on. Let me go back. Because they told me that when Derek Carr come back, we were going to see something. So let me take a look here. Because I know I ain't tripping. Spencer Rattler against the Denver Broncos, he was 25 of 35, 172 yards, right? What did Derek Carr have today? 18 to 31, 236 yards. Okay. Let's go look at Spencer Rattler's. Let's go look at Spencer Rattler's first game. Let's take a look at his first game here. 22 of 40, 243 yards. Oh, wait a minute. Are you telling me that Derek Carr, 18 of 31, 236 yards? Spencer Rattler, man, come on. Now, I mean, to me, it almost seems like, they got the same identical stat line there. So for all them people like, man, Derek Carr come back, man, we're going to solidify this. We're going to solidify this offense, man. Bro, you could have kept Spencer Rattler up in there. Spencer Rattler could have went 18 to 31. TJ says this should be his last game every week. It's because it's true. It's true. It should be his last game. Now, this really should be his last game. This really should be his last game. This should be his last game. This should be this should be his swan song right here. This should be his final game. Why are you keeping this dude around? Seriously, why are you keeping this dude around? At this point, you're just keeping him around because you know that he's terrible and you know that you're going to get a bad, you're going to end up picking in the top 5, but you're going to end up picking in the top 5 regardless. I want to tell you right now, if I'm not mistaken, I think the Saints may have the 3rd pick in the draft right now because of this loss. I'm serious. Like, man, let me make sure. Let me see. I want to see because I know they were at 6, but losing to the Carolina Panthers now, you got to believe. Yeah, they got the 2nd pick in the draft. The Saints have the 2nd pick in the draft right now after the loss. After the loss to the Carolina Panthers, the New Orleans Saints right now have the 2nd pick in the draft. The Saints are picking 2nd in the draft. Who that nation? So it's like, you got the 2nd pick in the draft. Hey, Chief, we just got to look beyond the results, right? Derek Carr did 9/11. Losing culture, still love my Saints, but damn, this is frustrating. Yeah, it is frustrating. Yeah, I think the 2nd pick. Yeah, got the 2nd pick in the draft. I had to go back and I had to take a look. I ain't mad at it, though. I ain't mad at it. Like, if you're going to be bad, like, embrace it. We got the 2nd behind New England. Yep. I want everybody to apologize to Mike T because he been saying this the whole time. Ain't nobody apologizing to Mike T. Ain't nobody say nothing to him. Ain't nobody like, man, like, this man been telling y'all for I don't know how long, and people are saying he crazy. But look who's crazy now. We need an offensive-minded coach who is a great motivator. These guys play like they got better things to do. Shoot, guys would rather be with their families. Yeah, if you're going to look like this, man. Rattler wasn't set up for success. He was to be made an example of. Carr had the players, but refused to play. Yeah, I feel like here's my thing. I think Derek Carr, when you look at Derek Carr, I think that he thought that going into this game versus Carolina, he thought like, okay, man, we're going to go up against Carolina. This is a game I'm going to come back. So he thought that maybe like he go out there and light it up and dominate them and stuff like that, and make everybody feel like, oh man, Derek Carr, man, I'm glad Derek Carr is back. Backfired on him. I said this before, like, man, they be sleeping it, man. They be sleeping on my analysis. I know sometimes like I can say some stuff and they end up being wrong, but man, there's a lot of times where I be saying stuff and slick. I be hearing people using my ish. Don't give me no credit for it, but I'm gonna say this and I'm gonna say it again. I don't care what anybody says. That whole Spencer Rattler thing was basically they did that to be petty. There is no way in the world that the New Orleans Saints organization watch Spencer Rattler in practice, watch Spencer Rattler day to day, and said when Derek Carr went down, okay, we're going to put Spencer Rattler in this lineup. Man, you can feed me that bull like, oh, man, the offensive line was struggling. He can roll out of the pocket, this, that, and the third. No, bro. They knew this dude wasn't ready, and they knew Saints fans wanted this guy in the lineup. So they did this to try to make Saints fans feel like, oh, y'all don't know what y'all talking about. See, we're the professionals. We're the professional guys. We know what it takes to win. We know what players need to do in order for them to see the field. That's what they wanted. and they knew this dude wasn't ready for that particular spot. And they were willing to basically destroy the confidence of Jake Haener, which Jake did absolutely nothing wrong at all, and he deserved to be the starter. But instead, they put a guy in that they knew wasn't ready to kill this man's confidence. Also, Saints fans can start backing Derek Carr and getting behind Derek Carr. That's it. The Saints wanted this so badly that they didn't even get a veteran quarterback. You went into the season with 2 rookies. Basically, Jake Haener, he's in his second year, but technically he is a rookie when it comes to like playing time. You went into the season with 2 guys that you knew for a fact could not threaten Derek Carr. And I'm gonna tell you, and the crazy thing about it is, since 2020, the New Orleans Saints had to go to backup quarterbacks. So history has shown you that maybe, just maybe, you need to get yourself a veteran backup quarterback that could keep you afloat if Derek Carr was to go down. But the Saints weren't having no part of that. They were willing to jeopardize their entire season to keep Derek Carr happy, to satisfy Dennis Allen, and to make sure that nobody would threaten this guy. They jeopardized the entire season. Imagine if the New Orleans Saints would have brought back Jameis Winston. Imagine if the New Orleans Saints would have signed Joe Flacco or something like that, or another veteran quarterback that can actually win you some football games, keep the team afloat or something. They didn't want anybody to threaten Derek Carr. They know that Derek Carr isn't that good. They know that Derek Carr isn't as talented as everybody trying to make him out to be. That's the reason why they changed around this offense to make it more run dominant, to take the ball out of the hand of Derek Carr. That's the reason why they did that. I do not care. Every offensive decision they have made is to try to cover up the mistakes that they made. Everything that they've done is to try to cover up the imperfections of Dennis Allen and Derek Carr. Dennis couldn't win because you had too many voices that was resembling Sean Payton. Too many Sean Payton guys. Let them change around the defense. Oh, too many offensive guys still think like Payton. And the team offensively has gotten worse. So in the process, to try to appease and make one quarterback happy, you destroyed the confidence of your rookie quarterback. You destroyed the confidence in your backup quarterback in Jake Haener, because he's wondering to himself, why am I not starting when I'm the backup quarterback every game? And then you ended up trying to alienate the entire fan base, trying to make us believe that what we're actually seeing right now is not exactly what it is. The New Orleans Saints are a disaster. And what makes them even more of a disaster is that they don't want to acknowledge the fact that they know that they are a disaster. Keith, thank you very much for the $1.99. Appreciate that. Team of disaster, man. All this to try to cover up imperfections that everybody knows. Ty says, and he got Olave decapitated hospital ball. Super King, thank you very much for $4.99 says, and what better game to experiment with Rattler than in games we were going to lose anyway, hardest games of the season. Yeah, I guarantee he wouldn't want Spencer Rattler to play in this game versus Carolina today. I guarantee you that. This man went up against some of the toughest defenses in football over the last 3 matchups. That boy Derek Carr came back for one reason only, because he thought Carolina was low-hanging fruit, which, against any other team they would be, but he thought that he was going to be able to grandstand and stat pat and, and go out there and make it, light it up. Like, nah, bro. I just shared your video on my Facebook. Rocky, I appreciate that. TJ, if they fire him in the morning, the Saints will win the next 3 games. I'm telling you, they're gonna play their heart out against Atlanta if he gets fired. But if he's still there, Atlanta gonna blow him out. we gave up Jameis for this bum. You could have kept Jameis Winston for the cheaper. You could have kept Jameis and it would have been cheaper. And you paid $100 million, $150 million, $100 million guarantee for somebody that's going to give you that same production. You could have kept Andy Dalton. He would have been cheaper and would have been able to keep you afloat, and he would have looked exactly the same way as Derek Carr. So the Saints just went out there just spend money on something that would just you could have took that $100 million and got yourself some better defensive players, a pass rush, a wide receiver. You could have did anything, and we wouldn't even be at this point right now. But instead, they go out there and get Derek Carr, the C+ player, for $100 million. You deserve everything that's happening to you right now. Jamie says, how long will the Saints losing streak last? Find out next week on Dragon Ball Z. Hey, man, look, if they are going to look this bad, why not? You know, why not keep losing? Keep this thing going. Saints at pick 2 right now is Cam Ward or Sanders time. Yep. But the Saints will end up trying to keep Derek Carr happy again. They'll go out there, they'll probably get, the top offensive lineman in the draft or something like that. I agree, TJ. Watch Carr get hurt during the Atlanta game to avoid the matchup with Winston and Cleveland's defense. TJ, everyone knows he should have been fired. How you lose 6 straight is today makes 7 straight. He lost and he still has a job. This dude got to go. Yeah, I bet, man. I can't even say I better not wake up in the morning. This man still have a job. He should be gone today. We should hear in the next hour, 2 hours, that this dude needs to go. He got fired. That's what we need to hear. I'm gonna take a few more and then I'm getting up out of here, folks. It says Bryce Young was better than Derek Carr. Bryce Young played well today. And like I said, the Saints are the get right team. If you struggling mentally, physically, emotionally, play the Saints. You're gonna end up being offensive player of the week. You're gonna end up getting the game ball. This was clearly Bryce Young's best game. Even that interception that he threw wasn't even his fault. That was just a good play by Gene Charles. Let's go ahead and look at the stats, man. Look at the stats, and then we're gonna go ahead and get up out of here. Derek Carr, 18 of 31, 236 yards, 1 touchdown. But that's a guy that, supposed to be the savior of the franchise. He said he ain't no savior. Yeah, you're definitely right about that. Ain't a good quarterback either. Alvin Kamara, 29 carries for 155 yards, played his heart out, over 200 total yards from scrimmage for absolutely nothing. Taysom Hill, 5 carries for 19 yards, also had a touchdown. Basically 4th and 1 after 4th and 1, dragging guys. Getting stonewalled, just all Taysom Hill, just fighting. Now I say, man, you get this dude up out of here, I guarantee you're gonna see a better product. Alvin Kamara, 6 catches for 60 yards. Juwan Johnson, 2 catches for 41 yards. Taysom Hill, 4 catches for 41. Cedric Wilson made some plays, 2 catches, 34 yards. Jordan Mims, 1 carry for 25 yards. Then you also have Foster, 1 catch for 25 yards, excuse me. Foster Monroe had 1 catch for 17 yards. That was a 17-yard touchdown. Really good play by him. Chris Olave, 1 catch for 13 yards. Chris Olave ended up leaving the game. Marquez Valdez-Scantling, 1 catch for 5 yards. Pete Warner, 8 tackles. Demario Davis, 5 tackles. Carl Granderson, 4 tackles and a half of a sack. Alante Taylor with 4 tackles. Alante Taylor played well today. Had a couple times he could have came down with an interception, but he had 3 pass deflections. Nate Shepard with 4 tackles and a half of a sack. Jordan Howden, 4 tackles. DeMarco Jackson played really well on special teams, had 3 tackles. Ugo Amadi had 2. Peyton Turner had 2. Willie Gay had 2. Tyrann Mathieu with 2. Gene Charles with 2. Also had a pass deflection and an interception. And you have a couple guys with 1. Cam Jordan, Jack Woods, Colin Saunders, Christian Boyd, Brian Brzee, Anthony Orji, Adam Prentice, and Dallin Holker. And the Saints didn't turn the ball over today. So let me They didn't turn the ball over. They threw for 230 yards, rushed for 197 yards, a 4.8 average, nearly 5 yards a carry. Sack, one sack. So they didn't turn the ball over. They ran the ball nearly 5 yards a carry. Alvin Kamara with 150 yards rushing, and you still lose a football game. That is the true definition of just a losing football team. Just lose. It's just a losing culture that Dennis Allen has got going on in New Orleans. Cam Jordan had one tackle. Cam Jordan not really in the lineup like that. Like it was mostly like, Chase Young and Carl Granderson. Dan Campbell, Bobby Slowick for next Saints head coach, and draft a quarterback, get younger, and get out of as many of these veteran contracts as you can. Well, look, man, my final thoughts before I get up out of here is very simple. Enjoy your Sunday. Enjoy your Sunday, man. After this, man, don't think about this team no more, man. Don't stress yourself out about this squad. Don't worry about any of the nonsense, man. I'm just saying, go do something, man. Do something that you love, man. Go hang out with your family. Go watch a movie or something. Now don't stress yourself about a team that don't want to win, that ain't trying to win, that just want to keep on keeping this losing train going. Until the Saints actually give us something that we should be investing in, don't invest your time in this football team. Don't. Just watch the football games because we're Saints fans. And then when it's over with, keep it moving. Because as long as Dennis Allen is here, they're going to lose. As long as Mickey Loomis tries to make everybody think that he is the second coming, I'm talking Dennis Allen, or Chuck Noll, or Don Shula, or Bill Belichick, we're going to find ourselves in the same situation. So, like I said, watch the games. When they're over, cut them off. Tune into the State of Saints podcast, or whatever podcast you tune into post-game. Listen to it and keep it moving. That's what I'm about to do. Man, I'm about to go chill. I'm at a hotel right now here in North Carolina. Got my family with me. About to go out here and enjoy myself. Because that's what, you need to be doing. And when the Saints start talking about some winning and, really being in football games and really have the opportunity to actually win the games they in, then we can sit up here and be emotionally invested in a football team. But as long as Dennis Allen is the head coach of the Saints, I ain't wasting my time, and neither should you. But thank you so much for checking out the State of the Saints podcast. We're powered by BETUS. Sign up today, get up to 150% on your first deposit, 125% on your second and third deposit, up to $2,000. Use the promo code YouTube150 by downloading the BETUS app or going to their website. Thank you all for checking out the State of Saints podcast. Follow me on X at TJAYJones8. Previous episodes available on YouTube. Also, you can check out the NFC South Roundtable every Tuesday at 7 p.m. on YouTube as well. I'll be there talking about the New Orleans Saints and, them continue to fall short and losing to the worst team in all of football. Till next time, all I got to say is, who that?
Thank you for listening to my daddy's podcast. Please subscribe to our channel.
Hey, don't let these tears fool you. It's all dog around this mug. I'm good.